It's worth the drive. A good time is just a short drive away, and summer is the best time of the year to jump in your car and discover restaurants, museums, bookstores, and places outside of your usual haunts. Instead of foregoing the summer vacation or sacrificing your much-needed time out, try local half or one-pink wonders. John King Used and Rare Books, 901 West Lafayette Boulevard at Detroit, is Michigan's largest used and rare bookstore and one of the largest bookstores in the country. The main store in downtown Detroit actually consists of two buildings, a four-story bookstore in an old glove factory where most of the stock is kept, and another building directly behind, which was once the old Otis Elevator building, with offices, storage, a large collection of art books, and a rare book room.
Our store started in 1971 in a small shack kind of building in Dearborn, and we were there for 10 months. We tried to be in downtown Detroit earlier, but we couldn't find a space. Back then it was hard to find a retail space. So we ended up in the Michigan Theater building for 12 years, and then after 12 years we found this building and we migrated everything over to here, and then it just blossomed from there. Well, I had a respect for the printed word, and I felt promoting it was a much better job description for me than doing something else. I mean, I appreciate everyone else's occupations, but I just felt this to me was more important, a job, so I decided to volunteer for it. It's a four-story building, it's 36,000 square feet, and it's totally full of books. Well, we probably have close to 1 million books. Well, everyone is individual and everyone has individual tastes and fetishes, so they go to their own section and they check it out. There are other people who are generalists that come through and just see what grabs them, and they are impulse buyers. But we get a wide variety of people in a variety of different disciplines that they're interested in. We also have, beside the books, we have the magazines, fanzines, I guess you can call them. We have other things. Sometimes we get a library and there's some odds and ends in the library, like furniture or framed prints or paintings or statues, and sometimes they're just so interesting that we end up with them also. At one time we had Martin Luther King's mother's Bible, which was very incredible, I thought. We've also had personal things that belong to Charles Lindbergh, especially with the kidnapping. Years ago, we had a copy of the original deed to Mackinac Island, which was phenomenal, and I regret selling it to this day. And it was a really nice, large piece of vellum with not vellum, it was paper with a lot of signatures and seals and stuff. It looked very historic too. I'm guessing we spend about 30% of our time trying to procure books. So we go out to estates, we go to libraries, institutions sometimes call us. So we're out about a third of the time. We're at one of the largest bookstores of our kind in the country. Then there's Ferndale, which is on Woodward, a couple blocks south of 9 Mile, and that's the biggest used bookstore in Oakland County, and it has a very nice selection. Then we have a little squeaky place by Wayne State University called the Big Bookstore, and it has magazines mostly and some books and ephemera, nothing the size of our store obviously, but it just has a nice little selection. I have a wonderful staff. There's Deborah Lee, who runs the store, and she does a wonderful job and people just gravitate towards her. There's Tom Heitchen, who runs the Rare Book Room, and he's extremely knowledgeable and he loves books. There's Toni Carone, who runs the office, who is very efficient at doing her job. And there's a bunch of staff members that take care of floors, and then a lot of our people are Detroiters, and a lot of our people have been here for many years. There was a ghost on this floor for a while. It was a murder-suicide ghost. The person killed family members and a pet and all that, and we ended up getting her estate. And before all the shelves were up here, we had to put it somewhere, so we put all her stuff here. And while the stuff was here, we'd hear weird noises, lights would go on and off, your typical ghost things. I don't believe in ghosts, but I mean, I heard it and saw it, but I still don't believe it. But she was here for a while. And then after we finally got rid of all her stuff, then it seemed to quiet down. I still unload car trunks, and I load books, and I unload books, and I pack books, and I mail books out. So no, I don't have any kind of delusion there. I'm still selling used books the way I was when I started in 1965. There is a website. It's rarebooklink.com, all one word.
To find other worth the drive destinations, go to cityofsouthfield.com/departments/cable 15 featured programs.